Awesome. So we are getting started tonight. I was just saying, if you're listening to this live, welcome to tonight's call. And if you are listening to the recording, you might find this pretty important when it comes to talking about our personalities, not only prospecting to our personalities, because I know that this is titled prospecting, but also to kind of learn about yourself. And when you're building relationships in network marketing or just outside in general, widening your network, how important this can be for those relationships that you build, because everybody is different. There are 4 colors we're going to talk about tonight for personality-wise, and it's from the book 4 Color Personalities of MLM by Big Al. If you haven't read it, it's an awesome book, but it's just really informative. So it's really, many of us get into this fear of not wanting to step out of our comfort zones and not knowing if we're going to be able to understand people. If any of you guys that have been sharing before, hold on one second, I'm having computer difficulties. Can you guys still see me? Okay, perfect, sorry. Anybody who's maybe shared with Plexus with someone before and you're like, oh, they just don't get it. They just don't understand. It could be the way that we're communicating with them. It could be their personality, that we are not communicating in a way that they can really see the big picture, see the vision. And I thought that that was really important, kind of going through and learning about this. No color's right, no color's wrong. We embrace all colors because everybody's different. And I think that's what makes our team so special, is because we have so many different types of personalities. But I think that this is going to help you maybe build confidence in sharing, build confidence in yourself. Maybe having people come out like out of the left or the right saying like, okay, I'm ready, let's do this, by being able to use these communication skills and learning about who they are and developing their strengths. So I'm going to start with the first one. This is blue. And when we go through this, think about, if you hear some of these things, think about what personality type you are. So I am half blue. Blue personalities. I've been researching more because I find this one so, it's kind of all over the place. What is blue? 15% of people are blue. So you should know how to market to them or know how to understand if you're blue yourself. These are the characteristics that they embody. So blue is all about having fun. Is it fun? That sounds like fun. Fun, fun, fun. That is the key word that you're going to find a lot of people. So if, they're typically really happy, upbeat, they speak quickly, wear bright colors, they're okay being in the spotlight. Those are all characteristics of blues, and they're going to be more spontaneous and impulsive. They might even take one of your Plexus samples, not even drink it, and be like, this sounds great. Okay, great. Where do I go? Where do I sign up? So if you have people that you're familiar with that have done that before, or ones that you know really well right off the bat that you feel like this is kind of the direction they would go, they're most likely blue. They love giving compliments. They love receiving compliments. They might walk up to you and say, hi, I'm Nicole. How are you? Tell me about yourself. That's probably a blue. They're just going to be right up front and just they love people. They're motivators. They encourage, they're promoters. And this is something that you would really want in your business because they are so extroverted and they have such a huge network that they are such people lovers and they love to share the gift. So if you do find someone that's interested in this business that is blue, partnering up with them and really helping them duplicate to be successful can really take them far. They love the relationships about this business, about Plexus, the trips, the travel. They're going to eat it up and they're going to be interested in dreaming big. That's what blues do. They dream huge. And they're going to be more thinking on short-term goals, not so much the big picture, but like, okay, where can I be 3 months from now? Where do those goals take me? Rather than seeing, instead of like in 10 years. They're going to be okay with being followers, but they also like to sometimes help lead as well and make sure that they're always doing something that they're going to feel, positive of helping people. And then I have a note here. I just want to make sure that I'm getting this all. So this is where if you're talking about prospecting a blue, talking about Plexus, sharing the gift, they're going to really respond more to the testimonials, more to the fun stories, personalities. and they're going to kind of be guided into a different direction than someone who is fully business driven. Again, they're all about the fun personality, the people, everything, the whole lifestyle, the whole thing that Plexus brings. So that is a little bit about the blue. So if you're inviting somebody, a blue personality, to a Sip and See event or an online event, you can lead things off with like, this is going to be a blast. Like right there, that's going to excite them. Or, there's going to be, come to the Sip and See. It's going to be so much fun. Fun being the key word. You're going to have them there just by being excited about coming to something like that with you. So that's a little bit about the blue. Anybody else, you think you're a blue? Okay. Yeah, Adrian. Yeah, these are all, and you can unmute yourself too if you want. The next one is green. So going from blue to green, to completely different. Green is all about information. They're the hunters and gatherers of information, of facts, scientific journal information. They don't want to know how something works. They want to know why it works, the reason behind why it works, and the science behind it. You might hear from green people that you're talking to, green personalities, saying, I need to do some research on my own. And they're going to take all that research and they're going to create all of these reasons of why they shouldn't take the products and have their own spreadsheets. I've had this happen multiple times, and being more of the blue personality, it's hard for me to understand when I'm trying to connect with someone who's a green saying like, oh, I'm telling you, it's going to be so much fun, and this is the experiences, and these are the testimonials. And yes, the information and the ingredient list and the science behind it is super important, but the products work. Like, I'm walking, living, breathing proof of it. Look at my lab results, So, but the greens are going to really want to take all of the reasons and make their own informative decision. They're going to break down all the ingredients. Information like that lights them up. It absolutely excites them. Greens feel like they have to be slow at making decisions. So if you're prospecting a green, you need to be really patient with them. And the key is going to be how you follow up with them. It's also going to be building a database of information that you can pass along to them. Maybe a little bit more of hand-holding than a blue personality, meaning like any articles that come your way about gut health or inflammation, you're going to send that to them so that they can keep building up their scientific information. So they're going to be slow at making decisions, but once they make that decision, they're incredibly loyal and they're fully bought in for the long haul. So those green personalities that once they decide that they're like ready to jump in, they're going to be super, super loyal to you. They also really enjoy answering questions. So find a green personality on a sideline team. Build a relationship with them, because that might really help you. If you're not a green personality, you might, if you're talking to someone who's a green personality, you might reach out to that friend of yours that's green and say, hey, like, how would you answer this? What would be attractive? What information would you think that would be the most beneficial for this person? So I think by making relationships with other different types of personalities is really going to help you move along the way as well, and give people what they're needing, what they're craving as far as information goes. Greens also love, like, if you think about someone in your life that loves to watch Jeopardy, that's a green. They begin to think of them as having a green personality. They're often uncomfortable in large social situations. So again, we gave a blue example, but if you're going to invite a green personality to a Sip and See or online event, you want to use the language like, there's going to be a lot of information at this event. Don't tell them it's going to be a blast. That is not going to do anything for them. Don't say it's going to be fun. They want simple, factual database of information, and then keywords to use with green prospects. You could say something like, I would love to get your opinion on something, or I would love for you to take a look at this product and give me your feedback on it. Kind of like what we were doing for Rock Your Microbiome, when we send the 2 videos out of X Factor Plus and Vital Biome and say, hey, take some time. Could you take 2 minutes to watch this and let me know your thoughts? Those green personalities are probably going to jump on it because they want to have that information. But if you yourself are a green personality and you're wanting to prospect somebody who's not that color, be prepared to dial back on the information that you want to send that person, because it could shut other color prospects down completely, because it could be so overwhelming. So one of the things you want to remember, if you have a green personality on your team, one of your friends, they are relationship builders, but they're going to really work hard on building relationships before sharing anything about the products. So if you have a green personality saying like, I want to do this, like I want to run this business and I want to, take it to the top, or I want to get my products paid for, they're going to really be focused on building those relationships. And, something like telling a green personality, make a 100-person list or reach out to 50 new people this week, they're literally going to withdraw into their shells. Like that is not going to be something that's going to be attractive to them. So break it down into smaller, more tangible goals. Like, hey, let's try to talk to 3 people instead of 50. If you're a green prospecting another green, go into the conversation armed with a lot of questions. Be prepared for a lot of questions. You can't just say it works. You just have to find examples of facts, steps, detailed explanations, and lots of follow-up for green personalities. So I know we have lots of greens on our team as well. Like I think it's so interesting, like all of these different things to learn how to, this could be the roadblock, I feel like, for some of your friends who really want to try these products, but it's just the way that might be presenting that's not attractive to them. So that's a little bit on green. The next one is yellow. Keywords for yellow is all about help and comfort. So nurses, kindergarten teachers, help truly describes yellow. People where helping people is where they're motivated. That usually checks the box of where they're yellow. Yellows are lovable, capable, laid back, trustworthy, and pretty very stereotypical. They're huggers. They hug everybody. So I feel like that I'm like reading these. I'm like, well, hug a lot of people. So if you're a yellow and you're hugging a non-yellow, they might be pretty standoffish because they're like, I just met this person. Like, what is happening? Yellows are tender-hearted. One thing to think about when you're talking to someone who's a yellow, keywords: contribute, comfort, feel, assist. Another example, if you're in a room full of lots of yellows and you ask someone like where they want to go to lunch, one yellow would say, I don't know, wherever you want to go. And then the other yellow in the room would say, well, I'll go where everyone else wants to go. And then everybody in the room starves because no one makes a decision. And I like frustrate my own self with that, because that's exactly what happens. You don't want to upset anyone. You want everybody to get along. You want everybody to agree. You help each other, and you want everybody to have like the best lunch possible. But when you're sharing Plexus with someone, using the keyword help with a yellow, with business and products, we can help people change their lives. That's going to really be drawing them home. We can help people change their lives. We can help introduce products that could be something that they've been searching for. So when you share Plexus with a yellow, help them understand that these products are changing lives, because I think that's what's really going to just sink into them and say, you're helping people, because they might, just want to be on the products. But when you put that word help or assist in front of them, if they realize that by sharing this business opportunity could help single moms pay their bills, or help someone who's 67 years old working with no retirement in the near future, they could help them retire, or even helping like a college kid not having a secondary income because of the weight of the student loans. So yellows are going to really, that's when they're going to be like, sign me up, like I'm doing this. When they realize that they can help all of those people, it's not even about them, it's about everybody else. So examples of inviting yellows to an opportunity meeting or a Sip and See online event, you could say something like, you know what, I would love if you come with me tonight. If you come early with me and help me set up, I'm feeling super overwhelmed. So like, help me set up. Like they would be the first ones to be like, oh my gosh, I'll totally come. And what time should I get there? Can I get there early? What can I do for you? That could be something, or say, I would love if you could help me fill this room. We have so many awesome testimonials. It would help me so much. Could you think you could bring a guest? That person, you might as well have them bring like 5 people with them, because if they know that it's helping you and it's going to help those people, listen to those testimonials. That's a yellow personality. So that's help and comfort are the keywords. And then the last one is red. This is more of a focused person. Reds always need to realize that there are other colors out there because they're so focused with their blinders on their own. Keywords, they think big. They think that their way is the best way. And that is what they're striving for. You give Reds a big challenge and they are on it. They're going to go big. That is what's going to attract them. Products, they might think that they're impressive, but the opportunity compensation plan, that's going to be what's really eye-catching for them. So don't be afraid to tell Reds, what can happen financially. They are bottom line people. It's not, we'll get to the point. They want to know the bottom line up front. They love getting to the point, and they are all about the end result. They don't need to know all the whys. They just need to know what is going to happen. Like what is going to happen at the end of this. They like being in charge. They like doing their own thing. Reds aren't intimidating, and you want Reds on your team and as your customers because you need them on your team because they're going to be the ones to study and to learn and to ask questions to make sure everything is compliant. But they might not see the need for reaching out to others right away with questions. They might feel like, well, I don't have to ask my sponsor. Like I can do this. I've got this. They love to be the leader. They love to supervise. And when you're inviting a Red to an opportunity meeting or a sip and see, besides talking about the comp plan, be sure to have good eye-catching testimonials for them. They love to have a job to do. So if you're inviting them, if they are already on your team or if they are, someone, maybe give them a job as far as like, hey, do you think you could help greet people at the door? Or do you think you could help signing people in? Or would you like to go on in the front of the room and share your story? That's going to be something that might be attractive for them. They love recognition. And it's always great to let Reds know that they will be praised for the work that they do and then praise them for the work that they're doing because they love to help people. And when they're in charge, they also like to see results, but see it in the big numbers of people's lives that can change. So make sure that they feel valued and make a big difference. So kind of bringing everything together, the keywords for the personalities like blue, fun. Everything's a blast. This is fun. This is a great experience. Positivity. Green is all about information. They're the hunters of science. Yellow is comfort and help. And then red is relate. So I feel like with this particular I want to read this book again, but even just taking the test or hearing the descriptions, you guys might feel like you already know what you are. But if you take this information and take it to heart while you're talking to someone, learn when you're talking to someone, figure out what color they are before you even bring anything up. That's what it's all about, with building relationships. You're getting to know them. You might have someone that you haven't talked to in years and years since grade school. They might be a completely different person than they were back in third grade. So find out what color they are and then take a step back, build a relationship, and ask some probing questions. And I have some examples of some questions. First question could be, what drives you? That's a great question that I feel like no matter what color you are, like people are excited to be asked that because I don't think a lot of adults are asked that. It's kind of like, what do you want to be when you grow up? We're not asked that a lot because we just kind of settle into what we are. And then take time to listen. I think that rather than asking them and then talking, take a step back and take time to listen and kind of evaluate what their answers are. The next question is, what makes you want to know more about Plexus? So like if somebody reaches out to you, that's a good probing question to say, I'm happy to share with it what interests you about my post. I remember when I had reached out to Jen Hawkins, and this was before even like the gut health was a thing. I reached out and this is how new she was. She said, are you sure like you really, like you think you could use these products? I don't know if you, like, what are your what kind of issues do you have? Like, it was almost like, why do you need these? And it's funny because I think that, there's so much information that has been learned over the last few years, but those probing questions, because when she asked me that, I was like, oh, well, yeah, here's what I need. And I think it helped her understand me and learn a little bit about what I was looking for. And then another probing question could be, if money were no option, what would you do? So that could be, I know like sometimes some of the biggest objections could be the cost of the product. So it's interesting to find a question like that. If money were no option, what would you do? What type of regimen would they take? What are they looking for health-wise? And then you can kind of slowly dive in and evaluate how you could work around and work with them together to let them know that this could be something that they could take for free, get their products covered. So these questions will see the heart of someone, and their personality will help you prospect and really take this into kind of like show them that it's a life-changing opportunity. I think if we take all of the different things and know somebody's color, it's going to really help us push forward and help us grow our business. But it's also going to help you on a social media aspect. Like if you're just posting for a specific color type, like if you're a blue or a yellow and you're only posting and it's attracting blue and yellows, well, don't forget about the greens and the reds, because they need that information. They need to see different things. So really be strategic and think about how you're sharing on social media also with the ways that, and the different colors and the information. So that's a little bit about what I have. I'm interested to hear what you guys are. Hold on one second. Unmute. Unmute Kay. What do you guys, does anybody have any questions first off?
I don't think I have any questions, but I think it's interesting because I think we're inherently a little bit of all four. It just depends on which one we see ourselves as more dominant, or, which one this, extremely accurate online quiz says that we are. And it's funny because, when I took the Rank Up Roadmap one, it was like, oh, you're a total yellow, you're caring about people. And which I am, because, I'm an elementary school teacher and I teach special needs kids and in a very low income area and everything like that. But then from a adult interaction standpoint, I'm a total green, because as I said last week, adults are scary to me. And I am definitely a research person, and I was that person that was like, Ruth, I have to have a list this long of everything, and I have all of my reasons about why I'm not going to do this and everything like that. So, I think on the one hand, I'm kind of like you, Nicole. I'm halvesies, but it depends on which personality is taken. That makes me sound two-faced, but like which personality is taking over more at that particular time. But like I said, I think we have all four inherently inside, but just which one is
I think you're right. I think they can probably pop out in different situations that you find yourself in too.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Kay, I saw you shaking your head. What are you?
I'm definitely blue, for sure. I'm always looking for a good time. Not that way, but yeah. So I'm definitely blue. I have yellow. I'm kind of like Sarah. I have yellow too because of the helper in me, and that's probably my second strong one. But I don't mind, kind of facing conflict or facing situations. I feel like there's a little bit of red, and the green, I did do a ton of research before I hopped on too. So it is, I kind of feel like, if I were just going to pick one, I would say I'm blue all the way. I'm just kind of show me where the party is. I'll be there, and I think that's what attracted me. I think it's a good thing too to think about like what attracted you to Plexus yourself. Maybe you had said that, and we kind of had a conversation about that, Sarah and Ruth and a few of us the other day. Well, it's been a while, but anyway, the things that attracted me were Hawaii, like, oh, that would be so much fun. Oh my God, I would love to go to Hawaii. like that was like totally got me hooked, you know. And just the support and the connection that we have with the people, that kind of also drew me in after I initially said yes. So I definitely think I'm mostly blue, but yeah, I definitely have other aspects, and yeah, I think just like Sarah, they all kind of come out when they need to, or when the situation calls for it. I was green for a long time. Now I'm struggling with my green folks. So I would be actually up for, because now it just feels like it's done, it's law, you know, in my head. Like Plexus is fabulous, and now trying to prove it, or, you know, send the information the greens need. I'm kind of like, ooh, that's a, you know, how much
like
do you
feel
want?
like you feel like it's too much to send, or you're
yeah, I feel like I don't know where to start with them, because I kind of feel like, yeah, I'm just like, just do it. You'll love it. You know, like everybody loves it. I have all these friends who've had all these different issues that have been, you know, helped by Plexus. So it'll be great. Just come on, just do it, you know, so that's my biggest struggle is the greens, to help them kind of see the picture. I actually have a chiropractor's wife and a pharmacist in my, people right now, and they're the people who are interested in the products, and it probably would actually be a good strategy call for us to do, me, you, and Ruth, because I'd like to kind of sit down and say, okay, or maybe we can talk about it here. What should I send them? You know, what do I need to? Do I send them Jennifer Pickett's channel and just say, hey, here's some really great information? I mean, I've sent them the ingredients list. I've sent them the pages, the one-pagers for all the products, and you know, I've done some of those things.
Well, I was going to say, Sarah Brinkley, you mentioned, like, for you being green, would you, like, if you were, you know, asking for information and wanting to learn and having kind of medical background yourself, would you want to have like a master link so that you can do all this little research, or would you want everything like spelled out, like here's the ingredient list, here's the, you know what I mean?
You know, when we, like, I'll just speak from personal experience. Like after they did the big reveal, like we were in Nebraska at a dance competition, and the captions weren't working and everything like that. So I just kind of, like, after, you know, all of the words like microbiome and acromantia and everything like that came on, like the next thing I did after we got back to Kansas was I literally went to the library and started getting in the search engines and got all of the books and started reading everything. And so, I mean, I'm the type of person for myself that I'm such a doer in that way that if I don't understand it, I'm just gonna jump on and get it taken care of, because that's how I am.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, and I think that's a fault of mine in getting information out to prospects, is because I do sorry, my Facebook's blowing up with people just sending me random stuff, so I apologize. But I think that's a fault of mine because I am so data driven and research driven from myself and from my husband and my kids and everything like that I don't really, like, I need more of the blue. I need more of Kay's, like, yeah, this is going to be great. You know, you could go to Hawaii and everything like that, where I'm like, here are all of the facts about these particular products. And for the people who are more fun loving, that's a huge turnoff to them. And I have to shut down that robotic part of myself that loves data.
Yeah. Well, and that's hard. I mean, that's why I think this is such an, I mean, I feel like we could talk about this for hours because it's so interesting. Like, it's interesting to know what you are, but then it's interesting to realize like how you might be communicating to other people who are not anything like you know, and how it could be drawing them away rather than pulling them in.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's hard. I mean, especially when you have to stop and think like, will this, cause then you kind of get into your own head. Like, is this going to like completely just, blah, you know, like turn them off. But at the same time, owning the type of person that you are and just calling it out, saying like, I love facts. I love scientific information. Here's a little bit, you know what I mean? Just, I don't know. That's a good point. I mean, this could even be something we could talk about next Saturday.
Yeah, I think it is a good topic of a discussion. I mean, even just casually, it wouldn't have to necessarily be on the agenda, but it would be good to kind of see, okay, what is everybody's personality and what would be good for you to receive, or what would you like, or what drew you into it, you know?
Mhm.
And I think it'd be interesting to see what everyone had to say.
Yeah, I see Tara on here, and Tara has been big on to personality and talking. Do you have anything to add or any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm a red. You know what? This is really interesting because I had just read this, and then Friday at my job, my boss brought in. It was called LIFO, LIFO, and it's like, I don't know, a strengths finder thing. It also has colors, which pretty much jive with these colors. But of course, I'm like, I'm a red. You know what I mean? Because it's portrayed pretty. I feel like more negatively than the other colors. But I was able to on Friday just like own the fact that I'm a red. You know, I'm very detail oriented, which is like why fly by the seat of my pants does not work for me. It drives me crazy because I don't fly by the seat of my pants ever. Well, rarely ever. But what I thought was really interesting is they took it a step further, and I have my whole profile report that I need to still read. I thought I stuck it in my bag, but I didn't, but whatever. But they talked about like what your strengths are and kind of like ideal, go with the, ideal situations that are free of stress. But then they talked about what color or what your strength is when you're like under stress or in a chaotic situation, and I switched to green. Where it's like, make me my list, show me the facts, prove your point, which makes sense because I do that whenever I'm in crisis modes. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to say this, like reds are pretty driven by money. I feel bad saying that.
That's exactly.
But, the business opportunity was like it for me, you know, I mean, and because I had already done my research and I knew the products. Kay, I was going to tell you, you can use me as an example with your chiropractor's wife friend. My husband's a chiropractor, so it depends on how crunchy they are. Some chiropractor people, I mean, my husband and I are like in between. Some are very crunchy. But I'm happy to even jump on a 3-way call if that would help move that person forward. But yeah, I'm a total red. Although not a total red, because in the personality thing that we did, I was pretty balanced. I was the most balanced out of our team of 30-some people, but I lean red for sure.
I'm sorry. What did you say, Tara? I lost you.
No, I said my husband's a chiropractor, so you can always use me as an example or put me on a 3-way call. It kind of depends. Like, are they super, super crunchy?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And I mean, my husband aren't as extreme. Like, whereas all his friends were like, nobody had an epidural. They all did Bradley classes. A lot of them did doulas. I'm not going to lie and say I got an epidural. And after the first one, I was definitely getting a second one. But we, I don't even want to say this on this call because people think we're freaks. But like my kids aren't vaccinated. Like we don't vaccinate, some of that kind of stuff. So I can relate. I mean, my husband and I did do a lot of research on the ingredients and stuff. But I tend to be more impulsive. So, I watch the testimonials. I trust you guys. I did my research. Okay, I'm on board. And show me the money. And I'm good. Because I'm red. That's what I like. So.
I love it.
I don't think red is looked at negatively at all. I think it's looked at as strong. I think that you need reds. You need that. I want some red. Like, I want some red. And I am green. Like, I just do.
Well, you have to have a red amongst all of the blue because you have to rein in the blue people.
Right.
You have, who are all like,
Can you imagine just a team full of all blues?
Oh my God, nothing would ever get done. And then, the yellows are trying to be touchy-feely about everything. Mm-hmm. And then, the greens are trying to just, hammer everything with, you need a strong red to sort of anchor everybody back to reality. And so red isn't a bad in the slightest.
Yeah, I think the only thing with reds is like you're so like I carry a planner everywhere. List, make a list, task, check it off. That like it's sometimes hard for me to get out of my own head. You know what I mean? Like I think sometimes once I get unstuck, then I think I can take this to whatever level I want. But sometimes I get so stuck and in that perfection mode, like I talked about last week, that it becomes like a hindrance for me because I'm like waiting until I reach a certain level of perfection before I'll do X, Y, and Z. And so that can be a hindrance too.
Mm-hmm. Tara, it's so funny to like, even like little things in life, like when you're talking about, you walk around with like a planner and it's like very like check mark.
They make fun of me. They said I need an intervention at my work.
I walk around with like 1,000, I'm not even kidding, Post-it notes, just like everywhere, like overflowing in my purse, in my bag, and I don't know.
I have too.
I mean, it's funny. Like that's exactly, like everything is like pointing exactly which direction.
Yeah. Like I will do something and that I didn't write on my list, and I'll write it on my list just so I can check it off.
Awesome.
I totally do that all the time.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm kind of a freak.
Is anybody else on here that hasn't shared what they are? Adrienne, what about you? Is she still on here? She might be muted.
Sorry.
Oh, no problem.
I'm like doing stuff and listening, so I didn't want to, whatever. I think I'm like both between a blue and a green, because I'm definitely like one of those people who, get drawn into the fun and like, let's go. And, I definitely get drawn into all that. But I'm also definitely green in terms of reading and researching, and I want to know my stuff and gather the information and know what I'm getting into and that type of thing. So I think I am definitely both of those primarily. So
yeah. It's so good. It's so interesting. And Nat, are you still on here?
What?
And Nat, what are you?
I know.
Sorry, now I'm on my phone because I am too stupid to use a computer. I think I am blue and yellow.
Blue and yellow?
Uh-huh.
I can totally see that. It's so cool to see what everybody can kind of bring themselves and figure out what they are. But I would love to have this talked about next on Saturday. I think it'd be great.
Yeah, I agree.
Just to dive into it a little bit. Because I would be interested to get Jen's perspective also on this.
Yeah, I'm curious to know what she is.
That's a good question. I have no idea.
I bet she's a yellow blue.
You think so?
Yes, yeah. But you know what's interesting for me is like I don't post and prospect to my own personality type. I think I don't. Like I don't post as much about the business, and I don't know. It's just interesting.
Yeah, that could be a good challenge for us. Like take a week and try to prospect to every other color but your own.
I think that would be really good.
Mm-hmm. It'd be hard. I feel like it'd be a huge challenge.
To think about reach like this week or take like a week and each day or whatever we think about prospecting to a specific type of color or a color blend, as it were.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that would be, for people like me who are, very stuck. I'm very stuck in my two. I mean, that would be great. Cause I'm like you, Tara, I have to force myself to post about the business. I have to because I feel like if I put if I post about the business, it's off-putting.
Yeah, but Sarah, you should read the book, Get Over Your Damn Self, because
I know it's on my list.
You have to read it. Because she's very like boom, boom in your face, that works for me. So I appreciate the way she writes, and I've heard her speak too. And the way she writes is true to her personality and how she speaks. But I thought this is an interesting take that she has, because I also like shy away from the business opportunity, which is crazy because that was the biggest draw for me. But she says it way more eloquently than I could. But she says that you should always start out with a business. And the reason why is if you start out with a business, and she talks about, and we've all talked about this before, like a lot of people are more motivated by pain or how we can fix their pain than pleasure. So I was thinking, so she says you should scroll through Facebook, whatever your information you have, and just jot down like a couple bullets of like, what's their pain? What would they be seeking to like get some kind of relief from, whatever it may be. If it's financial, if it's health, whatever. But I also think that I want to like get some clues on what's their color and write that down too. But the reason she says you should start with your business is that, and of course, she talks about you need to get people on the phone, which I've been trying to do a better job of this. But she says that the reason you should start with a business is because if you lead with the products and people say, no, these products are for me, you have nowhere else to go except for maybe a referral. But if you start with the business and they say the business isn't for me, then the way she says it is then you can pivot to the products. And then if that doesn't work, which then she says, then you say, well, let me just tell you the kind of person I'm looking for in my business or my product. And the first list that you give, or the first couple bullet points, describes them exactly. And then you give some of the others. It's genius. Her approach is totally genius. So I read it very quickly, like it was an easy read. It's really direct. But I just thought it was really interesting because she talks about that too, like people's personalities, and she kind of covers all of it. And just gives a system for a simplified system that I feel like is true to how women speak to each other. And it was really good, except then I feel like I need to analyze it and type it up. And yeah. So, then I have to like move from that mode, get it out of my planner and like do something with it. Yeah.
I'll bring you some Post-it notes, Tara. It'll be all good.
I need bigger ones than that, girl. I need giant Post-it notes.
That's funny. I need to read that book too. I've been hearing a lot about it.
Really,
yeah, that's awesome. I'm so glad we did this call. I'm so glad we did this tonight. And I think we'll move into a lot of this for Saturday. But if you guys, I know I've said this before, but if you guys have anything else that you want me to, I'm building the agenda with Jen. So if there's anything else that you can think of, we'll have some pretty good stuff. But if there's something specific, this is like such an awesome chance. I'm so excited about it. So I think it'll be.
Hey, Nicole, can I ask a question about that? And yeah. I don't know why I'm asking because I can stay with my parents, but that be like getting hotel rooms or?
No, and I'm going to put everything tomorrow. So my mom, I feel like a 10-year-old.
Yeah, I'm a red. I need the details.
Like my mom's out of town. So my mom's giving us her house. Basically.
Oh, that's awesome.
So if anybody has I have an air mattress that I can bring. There's 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms. But I feel like it's, bring air mattress, bring anything. So there's tons of room. It's 2 levels and lots of couches. And so it'll be good times. But yeah, she's in St. Charles. So what we'll do is we're going to have training from 11 to 4 at the Lexus dealership on Manchester 270. They have an upper room that has full of mirrors that overlooks all the cars. Like it's so cool. So cool. So we'll have lunch there, like a working lunch. And then we will go out to St. Charles, kind of freshen up, get ready for the night, hang out for just a little bit, and then go out to eat. And again, because I'm a yellow, I have 7 reservations at different restaurants. So we'll have to figure out where we're eating. So then we can all spend the night at her house. And then Jen leaves for the airport. I'll take her the next morning, and then I think everybody will take off. But it'll be good. I'm excited. And Adrian's husband, Matt, is going to be joining us for dinner too. He's an ambassador on our team. I said he's going to be with like 18 ladies, so it'll be good.
He's funny. He's going to be our entertainment.
He is funny.
You guys are going to put on a skit for us, Adrian.
Hey, you asked for it. You just never know. It might happen.
Yeah. So good. And then Kristen Stanley is Jen's cousin, and I'm like, she has to come. She is the most amazing person ever, and she's in Kansas City, and so she's going to be joining us too. She's like, I'm so excited to hang out with you guys and see Jen also. But she's a good time. She is a good time. So it'll be good. I'm putting everything will go in that Runner's Retreat page. So it's just been with Jen in Hawaii, I've been trying to kind of narrow down a time to talk to her. And so hopefully it will be really soon. So good deal. Thank you guys for jumping on tonight. And I'll post the recording as soon as I get it uploaded.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.